Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, mathematicians. We are going to work a little bit on our order of operations here, and you'll forgive me if my handwriting is not the best. I'm just learning how to use this, but I think it'll work out okay. We talk about PEMDAS, right? Most people talk about PEMDAS when they think about order of operations, and that's really what it is, but there's a couple things that you need to be completely aware of. First of all, everything inside parentheses comes first. But the order of operations within the order of operations works also what's inside, right? So order of operations works inside as well. So you can't just go left to right when you've got parentheses. All right, exponents. That's the next one. And most of us know about, something squared or something cubed, right? A lot of people don't recognize that when you have something like x to the negative 2, what that really means is 1 over x squared. All right. Another thing that you're going to want to be aware of is square roots or other kinds of roots, right? So if I have a square root here, that is going to be an exponent. It's an exponent of 1/2. So any of the fractional roots or fractional exponents is a root. So square root is going to be to the 1/2. A cube root is going to be to the 1/3. So you need that many under the radical in order to be able to solve or to pull that number out from underneath the radical. We'll get more into that here in just a moment. Multiplication, division, right? Multiplication and division. And it's left to right. Do not make the mistake of thinking that you do multiplication first and then you do the division. You do them both at the same time. It's multiplication and division from the left to the right. Okay? Addition and subtraction, very, very similar. Oops, my pen's trying to go a little crazy. So addition and subtraction, left to right. And again, you're doing them both at the same time. Okay, so order of operations, if you have something where, let me clear this. All right, I'm going to clear this. I'm going to set up a problem here. I'm going to have and sorry, I'm not really talking at the moment. I'm just writing this all out. -6. Oops, and I think that we'll call that good enough. That's pretty out there. So the very first thing I'm going to do is look for my parentheses. Well, I have a bunch of parentheses here, but like I said before, I have to do this in the order. I still have to do the order of operations inside the parentheses. So inside the parentheses, I have no other parentheses except this one. It's actually for the exponent. So this is going to become a 4. And everything else would just come down, right? So 4 minus 6 times 4 plus 9 times 2 minus 6. And all of that is going to be multiplied by 5. So let's do our multiplication. 6 times 4, that's going to get me 24. So I'm going to have a negative 24 there. And I'm going to have a positive 18 here. All right, and then I'm going to just bring everything else down. So I've got my 5, that 4, and my negative 6. So remember, I'm doing parentheses first now. Otherwise, if this were not the case, if we just had this 5 out here in front of the 4, then it would be multiplication and division. We've already done the multiplication and division from inside the parentheses. We don't have anything more within the parentheses we need to do with multiplication and division. So let's go ahead and we're going to add these. So this is going to become a negative 20 plus 18 is going to get you a negative 2, and then that negative 2 minus 6, negative 2 minus 6 is going to get me a negative 8. So now, this is my parentheses all taken care of. I have a negative 8 here. That's everything that was inside my parens. Now, I have multiplication out front, so this is going to become negative 40. And that's it. I wanted to make sure that you had at least one example. Let me give you another example. If I have, let me clear this off. If I have, I'm going to do one a really short one, not quite as intense as what that one was. If I have my exponents of 3 squared times 5 to the negative 3, and then times the square root of 16. We'll make this relatively easy. I've got a whole bunch of exponents going on here, right? And then I'm going to have my my multiplication. I don't have anything else going on at the moment. So here I'm going to rewrite this. Okay, that's going to become a 9. And then times, but this is a negative exponent, so I'm going to do 25 times 5 is going to be 125 times square root of 16 is going to be 4. So I'm going to have 36 over 125. So that is an example with exponents. Just remember that square root equals something to the 1/2 exponent. A cube root equals something to the 1/3 exponent. And when I say that you have to have so many of them underneath in order to be able to pull them out, if I were to factor this, right, I would say my 16, I have a square root. Well, 16, I can go 4 times 4 if I spot that it's a perfect square, right? So 4 times 4, I've got 2 of those. I'm effectively saying I have, I'm not sure what happened there. I have 4 squared and then raised to the 1/2 power, right? So the 1/2, or the radical here, the square root symbol, says that that's going to undo our square. So we have basically our square and our square root undoing each other, so all we're left with is the 4. Hopefully that's clear. If not, please leave me some feedback and I will be happy to help you out. Thanks.